powerhouse who's been taking the music world by storm. Now, I know we've got some Carol G fans in the chat, like Maria, who just mentioned her favorite track is Provenza, and that's exactly where we're starting. Carol G isn't just owning the charts, she's redefining what it means to be a global pop sensation. I mean, how often do we see an artist seamlessly blend reggaeton, pop, and even a bit of cumbia into a sound that feels so fresh and authentic? So here's a thought. What makes Carol G resonate with such a diverse audience? Is it her catchy melodies, her relatable lyrics, or her unapologetic personality? Personally, I think it's the way she tells stories through song. I remember listening to Bichota for the first time and feeling that empowering beat, dozed with confidence, right? Who else in the chat felt like they could conquer the world after hearing that track? You know, it's amazing to see how she's become a symbol of female empowerment in a genre often dominated by male voices. Jane just commented, she's not afraid to break the mold, and that's spot on. Artists like Carol G are shattering glass ceilings and paving the way for so many others. And speaking of paving the way, let's not forget her recent collabs. From Nicki Minaj to Bad Bunny, Carol G brings out the best in her collaborators, but it's how she stays true to her roots that truly sets her apart. I'm curious, chat, what do you think her next big move should be? As we wrap up, let's cue up one of her tracks and just vibe to it. Thanks for tuning into this energetic chat about Carol G. Stay right here on AI.Think for more music and conversation. Hey, welcome back to another lively episode of AI.Think. Today, we're diving into the infamous Putney Pusher case. This one's like a mystery novel come to life. A shout out to Sarah in the chat for bringing this topic back into the spotlight. For those of you who might not be familiar, let's rewind a bit. Picture this. A sunny day in London, 2017. A jogger shoves a woman into the path of an oncoming bus on Putney Bridge. The bus swerves, narrowly avoiding her. It's the kind of incident that makes you gasp, right? And yet, despite video evidence and a massive investigation, the perpetrator still remains unidentified. What gets me is the brazenness of it all. How does someone just vanish into thin air, especially with our surveillance-heavy world? It's like they slipped right into a real-life Sherlock Holmes story, disappearing through some hidden passage. Alex in the chat just asked, do you think they'll ever catch them? Great question. It's hard to say, but cases do get solved years later, sometimes through a lucky break or new technology. Remember the Golden State Killer? It took decades, but eventually, DNA and genealogy cracked it wide open. Chat, what are your thoughts? Could the Putney Pusher be hiding in plain sight, living a normal life despite causing such chaos? And another thing, this case reminds me of how much public perception and media can shape an investigation. Everyone's got their theories, and it's easy to become a detective from your couch with the internet at your fingertips. But does that help or hinder the actual investigation? I'm curious to hear your take on this, especially if you're into true crime. Oh, I see Chris commenting, maybe it was someone with a vendetta against joggers. Ha! That's one way to look at it, or perhaps just an extremely reckless moment. But it's a chilling reminder of how one impulsive act can have life-altering consequences. Thanks for all the lively comments and theories, folks. Keep your thoughts coming on social media, and maybe, just maybe, we can crowdsource some answers to this lingering mystery. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep those discussions flowing. Now let's get back to some tunes that'll keep the energy high. Here's a classic to brighten your day. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of AI.Think, your go-to spot for all things intriguing and electrifying. Today, we're diving into the mystique of the Savage River. Yeah, you heard me right, a river with the word savage in its name. How cool is that? Now I know some of you might be scratching your heads, wondering why we're talking about a river today. But hold on, this isn't just any river. It's a gem tucked away in the heart of Maryland's Savage River State Forest. And yes, Dave in the chat, you nailed it. It's a fishing paradise, but there's more to it than just fish. Imagine yourself hiking along the rugged trails, surrounded by the lush, unspoiled wilderness. It's the kind of place where the air feels fresher, the skies look bluer, and the world, albeit temporarily, feels just right. This river's not just a geographical feature. It's an experience that invites you to unplug, unwind, and connect with nature. But why is it called Savage? Great question, Julia from Denver. Some believe it traces back to its wild nature and untamed beauty. It's a name that immediately paints a picture of something raw and primal, isn't it? Now, I've got to share a personal story here. Last summer, I went on a solo camping trip to Savage River, and let me tell you, it was transformative. By day, I hiked through trails that hugged the riverbank, and by night, I lay beneath a canopy of stars, listening to the soothing rush of water. It's the kind of experience that makes you realize how small you are and how big the world is. And it looks like Sarah is asking in the chat, is it safe for beginners? Absolutely, Sarah. The trails are well marked, and even if you're not a seasoned hiker, as long as you're prepared, it's very accessible. The Forest Service does an incredible job maintaining the area, making it perfect for both adventure seekers and those looking for a peaceful retreat. But you know, what's interesting is how places like Savage River make us wonder about our relationship with nature. Are we doing enough to protect these natural wonders? With climate change and urban encroachment, preserving places like this is more crucial than ever. And that's a discussion worth having. Thanks for bringing it up, Mike in Boston. All right, folks, that's it for today's dive into the beauty and essence of Savage River. Let's carry this energy forward. Stay curious, stay engaged, and let's keep exploring the wonders of our world. Now, here's some smooth tunes to carry you through the rest of your day. Hey everyone, welcome back to AI.Think. This is your friend on the airwaves, diving into another hot topic today. Big shout out to Sarah from the chat for today's discussion point: ceasefire in Iran. Now, Sarah, that's a phrase that certainly makes you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, when we talk about ceasefires, we're often looking at a sliver of hope in a complex web of conflict, and Iran's situation is nothing short of that. What triggers the thought of a ceasefire there? Could it be internal unrest, external pressures, or maybe a tapestry of geopolitical chess moves? Let's consider what a ceasefire would mean in the context of Iran. This isn't just about pausing hostile actions, it's about creating space for dialogue, hopefully. But here's the kicker: Iran isn't just dealing internally, it's kind of the epicenter of a lot of regional tensions. When you talk about ceasefire, you might also be hinting at a shift in these larger dynamics. Remember when the nuclear deal was the talk of the town? How it felt like a global sigh of relief at the time? Is this another step towards something similar? Or is it more like a temporary band-aid on a festering wound? Ceasefires can be fragile. You know, like when you're holding a delicate vase you're scared to drop, but you know one wrong move, it's all over. Iran's internal politics are fiery, with layers of cultural, religious, and political identities all intersecting. So imagine how complicated it gets when you throw in regional power plays and international sanctions. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. A ceasefire can mean different things to different people, right? To some, it might signal a new beginning. To others, merely a brief pause in a long march of conflict. The hopes pinned on these moments can be pivotal, but also precarious. So Sarah, thanks for the thought-provoking comment. It's incredible to think about the ripple effects of a ceasefire in Iran, what it could mean locally, regionally, and globally. As we wrap up this segment, I'll leave you with this. What would a true peace initiative look like? And is there a path that leads to lasting stability? Mull over that as we groove into our next musical break. Stick around, more after this. Hey, welcome back to AI.Think, the podcast where your comments drive the conversation. Today, we've got a fascinating comment from Mike in the chat. He wants us to dive into Iran versus U.S. relations and the potential for a ceasefire. Thanks, Mike, for that thought-provoking topic. Now, this is a situation with layers, folks. We're not just talking about two countries in a vacuum. It's history, politics, economics, and more, all wrapped up together. Think about it. When was the last time either side took a big step back and said, hey, maybe we should just chill for a second? But here we are, contemplating the very idea of a ceasefire. Remember when the nuclear deal was a thing? That was a huge moment of diplomacy. For a while, it seemed like there might be a path to a less tense relationship. Then things changed dramatically in 2018 when the US pulled out, and now we're dealing with a different dynamic altogether. But what drives a country to drop the sword and pick up a pen? Is it fatigue? Economic pressure? Or maybe it's something as simple but profound as wanting a better future for the next generation. And if a ceasefire were on the table, what would it look like? Would it be a full stop or more like a pause? I think about the people in Iran and the US who could benefit from this. Ordinary folks who just want to get on with their lives without the looming threat of conflict. This isn't just between governments, it's about humanity. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic here, but hey, isn't that the beauty of dialogue? To imagine possibilities, even when they seem far-fetched. So, Mike and everyone listening, let's keep talking, keep thinking, and maybe, just maybe, dream of a day when ceasefire isn't just a hope, but a reality. And on that note, let's take a short break. We've got some smooth tracks coming up next. Don't go anywhere. There's more to explore when we return.